Good afternoon, social media family and friends. Today I'm going to show you how to make chicken and rice. You know what I'm saying? 40 minutes. You know, my daughter, she just recently, both my daughters, they love my rice, my rice meals. And what most people don't realize is in the world, not just America, but in the world, rice is like the hamburger of every other country. In America, it's hamburger, fries, fast food stuff. But you can eat rice with breakfast, you can eat rice with dinner. And my daughters, they love my rice dishes. So my daughter Cheyenne in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, she asked me to send her my recipe because her and her roommate wanted to, make a meal that's going to last them through these tough times. So if this video is a success, I'm gonna keep on doing. I'm gonna give you some of my other recipes, some of the other things that I do to make quick meals that we can eat off of for 2 or 3 days while we're going through this financial crisis and this coronavirus. So, just bear with me. I'm gonna teach you how to make this. This is gonna be my bonus right here, people. You're not gonna get this just yet, but I'm gonna show you how to make chicken and rice. My daughters, they love my chicken and rice, and let's get so much. Now, she claimed that she couldn't find anything to eat at the stores because all the shelves was clean. Now, my thing about younger people is we older people can go in there and find something in these stores that people have left behind. Like these ingredients right here are simple ingredients that I'm gonna be able to show you how you can make a meal that's gonna last you 1 or 2 days. Okay, now older people, you guys know how to maneuver in times of crisis. Now my daughter, she's young, and it's a lot of young adults that's on social media, and a lot of them watch my show. So this is for you guys. If you guys want to know how to maneuver in times of crisis, we got a recession. We in a recession, really. And then we have this coronavirus, and more than likely we're going to be in a lockdown situation. I'm going to show you some 40-minute meals that you can cook with little or nothing. I went into Walmart not too long ago. The shelves were empty. But even though the shelves were empty, I still saw things that I could make a complete meal with that people didn't even touch. They didn't even mess with it, people. So there are things that we can do to feed ourselves and feed our families, especially for you young adults. Now, we're going to get to the ingredients. These are stuff that I found inside the supermarket that most people didn't even see or left behind. You got your minute rice, or you can use real rice if you got it. You want to use real rice, you can use real rice. It takes you longer. These are 40-minute meals, people. I use the minute rice, okay? Now, you're going to need your chicken broth. You're going to need your chicken bouillon. If you don't have chicken broth or the shells were cleaned out, you couldn't find your chicken broth, use 4 cubes instead of 2. I use Goya. You can use whatever seasoning that you like, whatever your taste buds is for. I use Goya. I also use parsley. You don't have to use parsley, people, but I use parsley personally. And of course, I got my vegetables, my bell pepper, onion. Some people like to use broccoli head in their rice, but hey, the broccoli was bought out. So hey, we're gonna deal with what we got. You also gonna need your salt and pepper. Alright, let's get to it. Now I'm gonna use this one for my rice. I like this taste a little better than this one. Okay, you put your chicken broth inside your pan, put it on the stove, and heat it on medium high. While that's doing this thing, now you guys can use any type of chicken. You know, when my kids were younger, being a single parent, I buy the boneless chicken. But you can use the chicken with the bone in it. You can use any type of chicken. You can also use the breast, the boneless breast. Always rinse your chicken, people. I'm sorry. That's just a habit. Gotta rinse your chicken. I've seen people take chicken straight out the pack. I've seen people take chicken straight out the pack and put it straight in the skillet. You can't do that. You know, my mother have a fit. My grandmother have a real fit. Can't do that, people. Alright, I give my chicken another once over. At this stage, people, you can season your chicken, but it wouldn't even matter seasoning. And the reason why, because the flavor is going to be in the liquid that's already boiling on the stove. So you can put a little salt and pepper on your chicken if you want to. I'm not even going to bother with it, because the salt and pepper is going to be inside the pot with the chicken. So once that comes to a slight boil, I'm going to add a cup of water. This is a bigger cup than what you need. A cup of water, half of that. Add a cup of water to that chicken broth. You want 2 of these chicken bouillons, okay? Whatever brand you get. If you can't find this brand on the shelf, Wilder's, you know, get the cheap brand. Get the Family Dollar brand. You need 2 of these. You want to drop this in your chicken broth that's boiling on the stove. The broth has come to a boil. So we're going to take the meat and we're going to put it in the broth. Alright, we're done with the meat for right now. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to work on the rice. Now, as you can tell here, I have a rice cooker. Okay? Like I said, you can use minute rice, which will take about 40 minutes to cook this entire meal. Or you can use uncooked rice, which will take you almost 2 hours to cook this meal. That's the reason I use minute rice. Since it's me here by myself, my kids are grown. Thank God. But anyway, since my kids are grown, I'm not going to use a lot of rice, okay? Now, you have a choice. If you got 2 or 3 kids, you can use a pot that big. If you have 5 or 6 kids, you can use a bigger pot. You know, you can use a pot this size, people. You got 5 or 6 babies, fill this joke up full of rice and chicken. This recipe right here, it's a bad recipe, I'm telling you. Start off with my rice. Since it's just me, I'm gonna use 1 cup of rice, a full one of these cups, big cup, since it's just me, okay? But if I want to eat off of this for 2 days, I might use 2 cups. Make even more. use Goya, people. This is the baddest season on the planet. The baddest, I'm telling you. So my guys, y'all know what I'm talking about when I say, when I show y'all that pack right there, that Goya, man, you know, some of y'all know what I'm talking about when I say Goya. This is the baddest season on the planet. I put that in my rice. And then I use this Goya, which is actually more of a vegetable base than a flavored meat base. So you don't have to have this particular Goya. I use Goya. If you don't like Goya seasoning, you can use whatever seasoning in your rice you want. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. Alright. If you notice how I cook, I put my seasoning in my rice before I add any liquids to it. And there's a reason for that. You're going to see it at the end. I put my parsley in my rice. We're going to chop up our onions, bell pepper. If you have broccoli head, you can chop up your broccoli. We're not going to do broccoli today. I put my salt and pepper in here. Alright, you're going to need some water and you're going to need some oil. I use vegetable oil, people, not butter. You're going to need oil. I use vegetable oil. This is the best thing right here. I love it. I know my measurements because I've been doing this for a long time. You know, I raised kids myself. So, but if you at home don't know your measurements, use 4 or 5 capfuls. Me, I know my measurements, so I can pour it like this. You want to put a little oil in there. You want to stir the seasoning up on the rice with the oil. Because what the oil does while the rice is dry, it makes that seasoning stick to the rice. Now look at it. Can y'all see it? You see that, Cheyenne? Now you want to put some water on it. Not a lot of water. You want to put just enough water in it to dampen it up. This little water right here soak it'll soak all the seasoning into this rice. It'll put it all in there. Then you're really gonna see it change color. Five minutes. First time you cook this rice, 5 minutes. Then we're gonna do it stirred. Then we're gonna 5 more minutes, stirred, 5 more minutes. So we're gonna go with the first 5 minutes. All right, while the rice is steaming for the first 5 minutes, we're gonna check on the chicken. Smell good in here already. You smell it? You smell it through the camera? Man, this is why I picked up so much weight. Always rinse your vegetables off, people. So you don't know whose hands been on these vegetables. Especially when you get them out the store. Rinse your chicken off, rinse your vegetables off. I'm not gonna use all. All right, good people, we're back. I didn't want to bore you with cutting these vegetables up. So we have our vegetables here. Cheyenne, pay attention now. You can use broccoli. You can use bell pepper and onion. If you don't have broccoli, you don't have bell pepper, you can just use onion. You know, whatever kind of vegetable that you like. Now the rice over here, it just finished its first 5 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna check on the rice. Ooh, this smells good. We're gonna use just a little bit of water. Pour over the rice. You want to stir it to break it up because it'll start sticking together. That's what the oil is for. The oil is to keep the rice from sticking together. I hate sticky rice. That shit, it pisses me off. When I, as you can tell, it pisses me off because I'm starting to curse. But I hate sticky rice. I go in a restaurant and I want my rice done a certain way and it's sticky, clumped together. I don't even want it. Now we're going to take our vegetables and put them in this. Now these aromas, you can get them at Walmart for 40 bucks. You know, they come with a shelf that sits on top of your rice when you're steaming your rice, and you can put your vegetables in, which is what we're going to do right now. Alright. We got our vegetables in the tray. We're going to set them on top. You can also season your vegetables while they're sitting on top. Use salt and pepper. I know some of y'all can't have all this salt. Me, I'm cool. Alright. Now you want to put it on for 5 more minutes, people. Okay? 5 more minutes. Now we're going to go check on the chicken. Chicken looks pretty good. All right. Once I get done with everything, people. All right, people. Now that the chicken's on and the rice is on, what we're gonna do, we're gonna sit and wait. Maybe watch a little television. You know, go in the living room, watch a little television. 5 minutes. We're gonna come back and check on the rice. This whole meal, it takes maybe 40 minutes to make. This video might be 20 or 30 minutes long, but trust me, this meal is nothing but a 40-minute meal. So just remember that, people. All right, we back, you guys. Now what you want to do now that your chicken is cooked. If it has bones in it, you can debone it. You don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Some people leave the bones in. I hate my rice like that with bones all in it. I debone mine. But since I'm using boneless breast, I don't have to debone it, but I do cut it up. And this is good for the kids too. They like it when it's cut up like that. Do not throw away, and you see steam coming off of that. You see that? It smells good as hell in here. Man, whew. Do not throw this juice away, people. I'm sorry. If you throw this juice away, the broth, you're gonna have to start all the way over. You know, this is what gives the rice the flavor. Alright? Take the meat out. Take the meat out, cut it up. Cut it up. You know, cut it up for the kids. You know, for you youngsters out there that's got kids at home, you want to feed them during this time of crisis. You know what I'm saying? This is some good eating right here. This is some good eating right here. Cheyenne, I hope you're watching this, because I told you I was gonna send you this video. You and your roommate. They're in the military, you guys. I think I've already told you guys that, up in Fort Leonard Wood. And she wanted a couple of my recipes that you know, we used to eat this stuff all the time when she was a kid. You know, I go in there and throw something together. You feel me? But I'm finna cut this chicken up and then I'll be right back. All right, Cheyenne. Now remember, let me adjust this camera a little bit. All right, now remember, you've cut up your chicken. You didn't get rid of your broth. You want to put your chicken back in your broth. Place the chicken back on the stove. Not cooking. You don't want it to cook. That's already done cooking. Now you want to finish up your rice. Now let's get over here. All right. Maybe I can get it a little closer so you guys can see what I'm doing with my rice. All right, my rice. I've taken my vegetables off of here and I'm putting them inside my rice. I'll let you guys see it in a second. Look at how beautiful that rice looks. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You want to stir your rice up. You want to take just a little bit of this chicken broth, just a little bit, to get that rice, that chicken broth flavor. Pour it in your rice, just a little bit. Alright. You want just a little bit of water. Now this is the third time that we've set the rice. This is minute rice. Now if you cook this meal with uncooked rice, it's going to take you longer than 15 minutes to cook this rice. Okay? You got to boil the rice down first to make sure it softens up real good. I hate that crunchy rice. So you want to make sure that your rice, look at the texture on that rice. Look at the texture on that rice. That's something serious right there. All right, you want to set it for 5 more minutes. And we'll be right back. All right, you guys, we back, okay? Now, I done took my rice off. As you can tell, the rice is done. The rice is done, all right? Our chicken and our broth is done. As you can tell, chicken broth is done. Now, what you want to do from here is put your rice inside your chicken and your broth with your broth. All right? Make sure you don't splash yourself. Chicken and rice, people. Chicken and rice. Alright, we're going to set this back on the stove for about 5-10 minutes. Alright, we'll let all the juices soak into the rice and everything. We'll be right back. All right, you guys, we back. Now, I want to show you guys the end results. Maybe we get a close-up on that. Chicken and rice, people. Beautiful. Now, like I say, you don't have to take the bones out of it. Some people do take the bones out or debone, and I myself, I debone my chicken unless I'm using boneless chicken breast or something. So there you go. Cheyenne, if you're listening, Jocelyn, you too, because I know you like my chicken and rice. You guys listening? Quick and easy meal. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to give you guys a bonus. That's my chicken and rice. You can eat off this for 2 days, you and your family. But let me give you something else. I'll be right back. All right. Now, as I promised, I said I was going to give you guys a bonus, all right? Now, you can take a regular casserole dish or a metal pan or something like that. Make sure it's a deep pan. Put your chicken and rice in here. All right. All right. Now, like I said, you guys can eat off of this by itself for a couple of days in time of crisis. But this right here, this is a bonus. Put it in a casserole bowl like this or casserole dish. Preheat your oven to 350. Get you a can or two of cream of chicken. And pour over the top. Pour over the top. I'm gonna need another. All right, here we go. All right, put that cream of chicken on top. Lighting is bad in here, I'm gonna have to fix that. Put that cream of chicken on top, stick it in the oven for about 15 minutes. There you go. We'll be back. I'm gonna show you what it looks like when we come back. All right, you guys, like I told you, I was gonna give you a special, a bonus, so to speak. Now here we go. I took regular breadcrumbs, people, croutons that you put on salads. Crushed them up. You can get any seasoned type of crouton you want. Like I said, this is the type of stuff that they left inside of the Walmarts and the grocery store. They didn't take all of this stuff. This is stuff that you can easily create for your home to get you through this tough financial times. Let's see what we got here. Whew. Smells awesome. See, I just changed the whole dynamics of the whole chicken and rice when I put that cream of chicken on top. And there you go.
The business, motherfucker.
The Daily Read.
Biz.